kitchen where the palm trees sway. And Chef Goodstuff smokes all day, serving up pets in a spicy pot. Books of a podcast make it hot. Neighbors talk but they can't see. Haitian plates of mystery. Secret spice in every dish. He's cooking dreams. He's cooking fish. Good stuff, oh, good stuff. Mix it up, can't get enough. Good stuff, oh, good stuff. Cooking up a spicy bluff. Cats and dogs all disappear into flavors far and near. With a pop he sings along recipes to reggae song. Round the block they line up long for a taste he's never wrong. Spice with tales from audiobooks. In the kitchen, good stuff cooks. Good stuff, oh, good stuff. Mix it up, can't get enough. Good stuff, oh, good stuff. Cooking up a spicy bluff. Cooking up a spicy bluff. Cats and dogs all disappear into flavors far and near. With a pop he sings along recipes to reggae song. Round the block they line up long for a taste he's never wrong. Spice with tales from audiobooks. In the kitchen, good stuff cooks. Good stuff, oh, good stuff. Mix it up, can't get enough. Good stuff, oh, good stuff. Cooking up a spicy bluff. Cooking up a spicy bluff.
Hello.
Welcome back, everyone.
This evening we have special guest Goodstuff.
What's
Mr.
up?
Goodstuff. How's it going, my friend?
Oops. There we go.
Wow.
There we go. Sorry.
Come on.
Going
Anyway.
awesome. It's all good stuff all the time.
All good stuff all the time. What'd you think of that intro song?
I like that. That was pretty cool. Dogs and cats disappearing into the flavor dishes or whatever.
Yeah.
We actually woke up with our dog Rolo. He was throwing up. He's better now, but he was throwing up yesterday for the better part of the day, and we woke up and he pushed his way out of the screen door and was nowhere in sight. So I was like, oh, great. I forgot to get gas last night. So I was below empty. So I quick ran up to the gas station so I could drive around and look for him and yell for him. And I was telling everyone at the gas station, because there's a giant line of high school kids. I'm like, my dog ran away. I just need some gas to drive around. Can I budge? So they're asking about it. And I said, I'll post in the community group while I'm pumping gas. And as soon as I opened up the community page, it said 1 minute ago someone posted, is this anyone's dog? He followed me home. And so we didn't know. I mean, he could have been gone for hours.
Yeah.
We just woke up and he was out. So luckily he followed a woman and her dogs home and had a play date and
Right, yeah. Had a little good time.
yeah, little rascal.
But it was funny, just like the day after the debate or whatever, with the dog, they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats.
Yeah.
We wake up and our dog's missing. It's like, oh no.
Oh no. Yeah, that's actually in Springfield, Ohio. It's not far from where I live. I'm in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
So it's not far, only about an hour.
I think there was
around there.
Where was that one case that you found? It was in
Canton, I believe.
Canton, Ohio.
Well, it's funny because, after the debate, there's all the news is like, oh, Kamala won and Trump's talking about, lying about this and that. And even I found a couple news sites where they seriously started off by saying Donald Trump lied about this and then proceeded to show police body cam footage of them arresting someone for doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're just counting on people just like clicking out after reading the first sentence or something.
Yeah, exactly.
So disingenuous. Yeah. But anyway, enough about that.
That's how we got the Mr. Potato Head back.
Anyway, for those who are listening, why don't you go ahead and explain to them who you are and what you're about, what you do.
Yeah, well, I am Goodstuff, and I do lots of things. Mainly what I like to do for this independent comic book community area, whatever you want to call it, is I do trailers, and I do trailers for an extremely reasonable price. We, my wife and I, we understand that independent creators don't have normally an unlimited budget. And sometimes some of the things that get kind of put off to the wayside are some of the materials that can help them with their marketing stuff. And so I've tried to make it affordable to where everybody can afford a trailer if they so choose. So,
yeah,
and
that's the way to be.
And on top of that, my wife and I are putting together a cookbook. So it's an independent cookbook that we will be launching on October 2nd. So that's going to be fun as well.
I'm so excited. Oh, it's so soon too.
Yeah,
I know. We've planned the timeline that as long as everything goes the way that it's supposed to go, that anybody who backs it will receive it by Christmas. Now,
awesome.
That's the plan. That's, we've set up the timeline so that it can happen, but printers, everything, like right now, for me, if I was to send in a whole bunch to get printed, I'm going to get them in less than a week and a half. So hopefully that's still the case once, the campaign is complete and we end up sending it to print, and hopefully it's still that quick of a turnaround, or at least close to it.
Yeah. Well, and if not, then you get a little bit of Christmas later. Hey.
Right.
Zan, you can't put stuff in the sink. Those are ant traps. Leave it alone. Here.
Let's say hello to the chat really quick. We got Tim McKay and Justin Belmont of Belmont Press Comics. Hello. And Belmont's your co-host, right?
Yes. Yeah. We do the Man Cave Thursdays, 6 p.m. EST.
Heck yeah. Great show, too. You guys got a really good idea going on there.
Thank you.
It inspired me to do some more stuff on my end with my shows too. I mean, hence the special intro or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Figuring
Yeah.
some stuff out, and
Right on,
there's
man.
things you can do, so why not just like go above and beyond, basically,
Yeah. Then do what you can.
We're all here once a week. So. Yeah.
It's fun doing that show. Have a lot of fun doing it. It's a good time.
Yeah. So, podcaster, video editor, and now author would be like titles, right?
Yeah, I guess you could call writing a cookbook an author. I guess we are putting stories with some of the recipes as well. Like a lot of the recipes Mrs. Goodstuff and I came up with together. They're our very own creations, not taken from anywhere else. And so we're going to give you a little bit of background on some of those. Some of the recipes are obviously not taken from somewhere else, but we've learned how to cook them and changed them and made them our own over time. Taking the original recipe, because one of the things that I learned from the first chef I ever cooked under was recipes are guidelines. So you take what's in that recipe and you change it up to put in there what you like, any seasonings or vegetables or meats, whatever the case may be, and kind of go from there.
Yeah, I wish more people, well, at least more families anyway, should really lean into that. Because, I mean, I get if like a single person or even like a husband and wife don't really feel not everybody can like write a prose story or even like a nonfiction self-help type thing. But like every family kind of like slaps food together and like understands some stuff like that. So I feel like that's something like, I don't know, maybe in the future more families could get behind that. I mean, with channels like Amazon and like things like, Fund My Comic and these types of crowdfunding websites that exist.
Right.
So it's good to see, man. It's good to see. And you got one out already, right?
No.
Oh, okay.
This is our first. Yeah.
That's right.
This is our first. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. What's your favorite thing, before we get into the book, what's your favorite thing about being a podcast host or like a live stream?
Well, I don't know. I've always been comfortable in front of people. I've always loved, hey, Fanta. I've always loved to entertain people. I think I find myself funny, so I try to bring that out and try to make people laugh. So for me, it's just entertainment. I love it. I love talking to people. I love reading the chats, what they come up with. Our chat comes up with great stuff and helps us out so much. It is so cool.
It's like the chats are basically a part of of all these shows, because when you bounce between small live streams, I've realized that one key thing is the chat is so small you actually can carry on conversations with people, and so every space is like completely different. And it's almost like until you reach this level where you can't even carry conversations on with people in the chat anymore, that's about where it's not really relevant too much anymore. I mean, but you still might get lucky, but
for sure. But our chat plays a huge part of our show. I mean, not even, not only during the show with them making comments and making funny stuff and all of that, but I mean, our chat sends videos, funny videos they find, or they make the videos and send us the videos to play. Like Eric Boyd does the custom videos, the puppets, and we've had some people make some of the songs for us and send to us. And the chat helps out by each week we rotate out, a different person does the Babe of the Week poll. So they come up with the chicks for the Babe of the Week, and they do different pictures, and it's awesome. Without them, I don't know. I don't know that it would be near as fun at all.
Yeah, dude. I think I want to get, because it's like the longer you do live streams, the more you realize how powerful the chat is. And so like what you're doing, it encourages people to want to be a part of the chat. Like, I don't even know whose idea it was at first for the Iron Seas podcast, my other podcast, but one of the co-hosts came up with like reviewing movies every week. It's like, okay, that alone it's okay, right? It's like, okay, here's a reason to come back. You can see like a free movie review, essentially, which some journals and magazines and stuff, they'll charge you for that.
Well, sure.
But I digress. It became like, let's have the community like vote for what movie we watch instead of just choosing one or whatever.
Right.
And that right there, it was like a noticeable like night and day like difference. Sure, it took a couple, maybe 3 weeks or whatever of trying before people caught onto it and started coming back for like the tribalism aspect of it. Like they're gonna pick their favorite movie. But there's the key of it though. There's the addictive part is like it has the tribalism aspect, but in like a safe way. Like, we're just having fun talking shit about the different movies or whatever.
Right.
It's all in good fun. It's not like modern politics is like a minefield. So but yeah, great idea there with the chat interacting there.
Yeah, thank you.
Any other things like that will probably benefit, especially if you already have a chat that's used to interacting.
Right.
So yeah. And it's like you'll never know those good ideas until they come along.
Yeah, and you never know what's going to work and what doesn't. We've tried numerous different things with the show, and we stick with what works. What doesn't, we just kind of kick off to the side. We see how the chat responds. We whatever the case may be, and so we've tried numerous different things. We were doing the manly points, and we will get back to that eventually. But once I started really kicking in full time working on this cookbook, it started taking up a ton of my time. So I wasn't able to really keep up with my end of the bargain as far as the manly points go, which was fun, very interactive, because the chat would get manly points during the show or not during the show for different things that they were doing. Tweeting them out, got your points. Doing pictures or whatever, saying funny things in the chat, got your points. And then at the end of it, you got something that is absolutely worthless, but it was still fun because, it wasn't anything physical, but I was making a funny video, dedicated to the person, to the winner or whatever. And then they had bragging rights of being the manly winner. So,
it would be cool. You could, man, like if you reach a certain level with that, I could see that being a thing for a long time. And you could like the winner. I mean, you took it a step further with the whole like personalized video and stuff. I was thinking just like a shout out would be reasonable.
Yeah.
Because then you can like aspire to get promotion. But, maybe when you're further along, they can be competing for a super chat.
I told you no.
Right. Yeah. Right. But yeah, I mean, I'm going to get back to it. Like I said, I just kind of ran out of time. I wasn't able to do the stuff I needed to do. So, but it was fun. And I think the chat really enjoyed it. And so it will be brought back eventually. I just need to get through this launch and get me a little bit more time on my hands.
It's another good idea. Yeah. Between the four of us, I think we should be coming up with ideas. And I mean, to be honest, sometimes our little personal group chat or whatever is a little hard to keep up with. Like, we're always talking about this, maybe this guest, maybe this theme, these movies, here's some funny videos, all kinds of stuff. So
yeah.
But yeah, tell us about this new book.
Well, this new book is kind of like Mrs. Goodstuff and I have always had a dream of opening a restaurant. And we're starting to get to the point now where that dream is kind of becoming unrealistic. So this is our way of doing something close to that, of getting the foods that maybe we would put in a restaurant out there. But at the same time,
such a good idea, by the way. Such a good idea.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we're trying to make it to where, there's going to be quick and easy meals, cheap meals. There's a section in it called Grandma Goodstuff, and hence the name Grandma Goodstuff. That is my mother. So they're recipes inspired by her. And a lot of the recipes that she would do would be cheap, trying to figure out a way to make something cheap. It was mom, dad, and 4 kids. I had 1 sister and 2 brothers. Dad worked, mom stayed at home, took care of the kids. So we were on a tight budget. We weren't rich. So mom would do things to try to come up with something to feed 6 people that was cheap enough to continue on to be able to buy more meals. So some of the stuff in there is geared around being not only cheap, but quick and easy. Stuff that you can throw together within an hour, maybe an hour and a half, and easy, where it's just a few things, and made it to where the normal person who isn't a chef can cook the recipes that are in this book.
That reminds me. That's totally relatable. It's kind of similar situation growing up, like making the best of what you can. Fascinating stuff. And that's, I think, why I think this is actually a really important thing, like that families can do together, because a lot of families just got to figure it out. And sometimes there can be little things that nobody knows that could work for so many people,
Oh yeah.
But my thought, I had a thought. Dang it. Continue. Sorry.
No, that's all right. That's all right. But another thing with this book is there's a lot of recipes geared around a grill or a smoker. I love to barbecue, smoke, grill. I do it all. I smoke everything. I grill everything, whatever the case may be. But not everybody has a grill or a smoker. Not everybody enjoys doing that. Some people can't have it because of the area that they live. Maybe they're in an apartment or a condo or whatever the case may be. So what I've done is, with all the recipes that are geared towards the smoker or grill, I've given you how you can translate that to an oven or a stovetop. So that way you can still create these recipes. They just won't be in the smoker or on the grill. So that way, if you don't have one, or you can't, whatever, maybe you don't have, whatever the case may be, that you're going to be able to still make these recipes, still going to be able to happen. And then
very important.
I was saying, a lot of these recipes are quick and easy. There are some that we have in there that are extremely intricate, that I give you how to make the marinade or the sauce or the rub or the chicken stock or whatever. I give you how to make everything totally from scratch. But at the same time, I put in there, this is what you can do. You can just go buy that chicken stock. You can go buy that barbecue sauce or the marinade or whatever the case may be, because that way, if you want to get that in depth with it and make it 100% from scratch, all of those recipes are there for that to happen. Or you can just switch it out and do it the easier way, the quicker way, whatever the case may be.
Heck yeah. I was going to say, you could endlessly go into like it could start with this is the ingredient, but then it's, it could lead into like chicken stock, and then it's like, well, here's the importance of chicken stock and why, and then that can branch off into like why those elements of general cooking can be important, and like why it's something to think about, or like just something as simple as just reassuring them of how like simple the ingredient is, because sometimes people look at ingredients and they're like, I don't even feel like entertaining that because that seems too exotic or something.
And what's silly too is like chicken stock. I normally don't even make it, but it is super easy to make. It's time is all that is. You don't even have to really cut everything up. I mean, you've got your 3 basic vegetables, your basic mirepoix, which anybody who doesn't know what a mirepoix is, it's your 3 basic vegetables that go with most sauces or soups or things of that nature, which is onion, celery, and carrot. So
naturally,
so you don't peel anything, like when you're making a stock, the onion, you don't peel that onion, you just quarter it and throw it in there. You're not skinning those carrots. You're just kind of doing a rough chop, throwing the whole thing in, including the green part of it. The same with the celery, the whole thing. You're just doing a rough chop and throwing it in. So, I mean, that part, I mean, the prep for it is super quick. And when you throw the herbs in, you throw the whole sprig, with the thyme, you throw the whole sprig of thyme in. With the basil, I do a little rough chop, but that's just because some of it can be really big. I mean, and the chicken, it's just the bones, the leftover bones, either raw or cooked, and then the skins and any meat that you're not using, that carcass left over after you carve a chicken or whatever. So,
yeah.
And then it's just letting it go for hours. That's it.
Well, yeah, that's the thing is like the whole reason humans even know like chicken stock is a thing is out of necessity, like using the leftovers like that. You know what I'm saying? Like making the most. So like recipes like that are huge, and you can maybe even have like a bare bones version of certain dishes. Like I would think of like the go-tos, right? The all-stars, the ones where like everybody has like a spaghetti recipe, right? And you can endlessly keep putting stuff into that to make it more and more fancy and stuff. Or you could just get like noodles and sauce or whatever. You know what I'm saying? God forbid you do the noodles and ketchup thing. That's rough when you're in that position.
But it can be done. It can be done.
One of my favorite things is combinations. So you can give me like $10. I could get like a pack of ramen, a box of mac and cheese, and a can of chili. And holy shit, that turns into some cool stuff. And like maybe some elbow macaroni just to since there's so much flavor there. But it's a really good idea. It reminds me of the show Chopped. You ever see that show?
Oh yeah, sure have.
Good show.
For sure.
And it doesn't hurt that it's like a kind of a weed reference with the name there too.
Yeah.
I think it's a regional term though. I've heard some people, they're like, chopped. What? Yeah, man, I'm chopped. What do you mean?
Right?
What are you talking about? Yeah. Or like, I'm from the Midwest, so
me too.
when I was with, that explains why Chopped. But when I was hanging out with some band dudes time, they were not not from the same region. Obviously, I think it was, I don't know, they were just part of the tour or something coming through.
Right.
And I think when I said tour, they were like, tour? Oh no, it was my audio engineer. It was my audio engineer, Johnny Frank. That's who it was. He lives in Ohio, and he thought it was so weird the way I said tour. And I was like, yeah, it's tour. It's tour. And he's like, no, it's tore. And I'm like you tore the piece of paper? He's like, actually, yeah, like tore. And I'm like, we'll agree to disagree. I'm just gonna pronounce it this way. But he always got a kick out of like my accent that I can't hear. But it's there.
I don't have an accent either.
Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. Huge thing to like help people cook cheaper, especially like in the day and age we live in with viral fake food videos all the time. You've seen like the peeling watermelons and the bananas that just bend. Just the bending bananas. It's just like they just bend them. Wild stuff.
Yeah. But so we have a lot of fun cooking, Mrs. and I. Normally our anniversaries or really any getaway that we do are spent in a cabin, and we like going up to Hocking Hills in Ohio, and we get a cabin. We're secluded. Nobody else is around us, and we create food and drink and smoke and hang out in the hot tub. So that's where some of these recipes have come from, is out at the cabin, just creating stuff, just coming up with new things to try. So, but some of the recipes too are things that we've been doing for years, just doing, ever since maybe we even got together. Like the barbecue rub that's going to be in the cookbook is something that I've been working on for like 10 years, trying to perfect. Not that I knew I was going to do a cookbook back then, but I thought I was doing it for a restaurant. But so you'll get to learn that, which is really cool to see And like, because I sent out some of these some samples of the barbecue rub to people when we did the official launch of our business website, and then the sign up for the cookbook. We were doing these different little giveaway things, and one of the things we gave away were samples of the rub. And so to
Brilliant.
hear people talk about how they've used it, and or they've let their family members use it and they like it, or they're comparing it to this rub or that rub, I'm like, oh, that's fucking awesome. I love. Yeah.
I had to.
One
It's so true, though. I mean,
yeah,
it's awesome.
One of my favorite things about cooking is people who have never tried my cooking, how they react to it. That's one of my favorite things. Whenever
Yes, sir.
the kids have friends over, whatever, and I'm doing something, you know, maybe it's, you know, like a holiday or maybe one of their birthdays or something. Like I did what was it? I did pork. Was it pork loin or pork tenderloin and some chicken drums and some other stuff for my daughter's birthday one year, and just watching everybody eat it all was just, it was awesome.
The best.
Yeah.
My first Father's Day ever. That's what happened with me. So for some reason, the family was all gravitated around me. You know, they're all like, they could have did other things, but that was cool. I got to like, I think my wife got me like a fancy like big pack of like all these different kinds of steaks and burgers and stuff. So I just made like most of it and just shared with everybody for Father's Day. And just fantastic seeing everybody like gush over it. And you know, my entire life basically, as I was doing like my music career, I'd work in like food service, and you know, I've been a cook here and there too. And probably the most noteworthy, well, one of just a place that people probably have actually heard of maybe is Toby's in Hinckley, Minnesota. I actually, I like how I went in there. It's a very like traditional kind of a ripoff of Perkins a little bit. I was able to go in there, and I got a bunch of people to prefer my nachos, and that's saying something for a place that goes far back in a small town that is like a halfway point between two major cities. So just like people historically are just, it shoots up to over like millions of people every weekend, and then down to thousands on the weekdays. So to have like a bunch of like returning guests and like the servers and stuff start preferring my stuff, I started making like enemies. So you get some people like making stuff up and like trying to like slander me or whatever, paint me bad, because they're jealous of how nice my nachos look, you know,
right?
How much people love them. So like the owner, it was like family owned, right? Very, and I mean like small town, very tight knit. Like, oh, it's almost like a monarchy. I'm not even kidding. Like almost like a monarchy. Like there's the royalty that's walking around, and then like, you know, it trickles down. But yeah, the owner ended up coming to investigate because of all the, you know, like the haters, and just checked it out. Looks beautiful. It just looks beautiful. It's amazing. It's probably one of the best I've seen in a long time. I'm like, that's cool coming from like the traditional super entrenched family owned place, you know. So where I think they came, like, I think like the dude who started Famous Dave's like was affiliated with that place for a while, because my buddy went to prom with his daughter, and he's like one of the cooks there. And that's so yeah, cool. They're the type of place that's going to bring like outsiders in to like try to judge them and make it better or whatever, because they're small, they're like family owned, they can change on the fly,
right?
So yeah, that's why I'm particularly proud of that, I guess.
Yeah, that's cool.
Other than that, I have just like my clever things, like I said, with the mac and cheese. I could make a steak in a cast iron pan or on a grill, whatever. I don't know, I'm not like an Uber chef, but I have it. I know what's going on at least, and I can cook. So
right, yeah,
that's where I'm at.
That's good. And yeah, like I said, we tried to make this book to where anybody can use it to cook. Yeah, you can. There are going to be recipes in there that everything's from jars and cans and whatnot, and you slap it together. So yeah, there's going to be just that normal, regular, everyday food in there too, because not everybody has the time to make everything from scratch.
My roommate made bread from scratch one time. He started he started Baker's Hours, right? Because the dude had insomnia and a little bit of a drinking problem, right? So, he couldn't sleep, so that led to him like looking stuff up. He's like, fuck it, I'm gonna make my own bread right at the butt crack of dawn. Went and got all the ingredients right when the store opened. It took him all day, but by the time I got home from work, it was like almost done. We waited, I don't know, I think a couple more hours or something.
Yeah.
He went through the entire traditional process. This is that dude that I said went to prom with Famous Dave's daughter or whatever. The dude just loves cooking, man. Like you can just see it in his eyes when he's just even doing something simple. It's just it was a beautiful thing. So he just spent all day lovingly crafting this beautiful round, just perfect loaf of just perfect color. Like I came home and the whole apartment just smelled like fresh bread. I'm like, holy crap, dude. He cut off a nice big slice and we each had like a sandwich from it, and it was just like the best bread I've ever had in my life. You never had bread until it's like homemade, man. Like it's just wild. You could just taste the love in it. So crazy. It's so crazy, man. But yeah, like not everybody can spend all day to do that. Like that's why bakers get up early and stuff. So
exactly.
And having industrial equipment. But yeah.
Right. At just 1 second.
Oh yeah, for sure. And we'll catch up with the chat here. Hey, what up, Irish Poppy? You the man. Thanks for popping in.
All right, right back. Sorry about that.
Oh, you're good. And Tim McKay agreed with me on the tour thing. He also, people tell him to say tour, just like me. So there's the little confirmation there. Wasn't pulling that out of my butt. That was shout outs to Johnny Frank. He made it. That was like a whole conversation topic one morning before we started recording, just talking about the word tour.
Tour. Hot tour.
The reality is it's probably something in between, but doesn't matter. No.
It's like roads. It's just fun to say. Roads.
Right. Yeah. So do you have plans to do more?
I do.
After this, and also is it like a Kickstarter? Is it like a startup?
Yeah, it's going to be a crowdfund. The book will be ready. The crowdfund will be for the printing of the book itself. As the missus and I are doing everything, we're going to get some help with the formatting of it. But that way to send it to the printer. But other than that, we're writing it, we're doing the pictures, we're doing the editing, we're doing all of that. So
that's one thing that a lot of people don't talk about. Sorry about that.
No, you're fine.
Startups. With startups, that's a thing a lot of people don't talk about is because I went into mine, I'm like, yeah, I got a good start on my comic, and this should help me finish it. Essentially, is my whole mindset. So it has an open end. Right. And it's more of like an investment. It's more of like, that's why I said startup. Right. But crowdfund is even more of a general term than that, which is fine. But like some people have it on like a timer, and I think those people, it's intended for like artists that actually have a following, a good example, Mike S. Miller maybe could do like a 5 months startup, or even like a 3-4 month startup that actually has a good number on it, like for the full amount. And if it doesn't fund, that's like, okay, next idea. You know what I mean? He could probably pull it off, but for like small time indies, I think they need to be looking more in like the open ended, like invest, kind of like help me open up shop, basically. That's what you want. Like help me build the foundation, right?
Exactly.
It scares some people away, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
But what we plan on doing is it's going to exclusively be on our website. We're using the WP funding toolkit that Ray Haylock made. And so it's set up similar to Indiegogo or Kickstarter or Fund My Comic. But with that, I don't have to pay anybody any fees. And so I can bring the the cookbook at you a little bit cheaper. So
that does add up.
Yeah. So we're going to go for 30 days, start October 2nd and finish November 2nd, or however many 30 days is. I don't know, whatever it works out to be. And then wherever we're at that point, we're going to go ahead and print. And we're doing, however many our goal is going to be 500, but even if we don't hit 500, we're still going to print anything that gets ordered. So, and
that's the mindset. Yeah. It's going to happen regardless.
Yeah. You're going to get your book. You're going to get the book no matter what, however much we fund, whatever. If we sell one book, then that one person is getting their book. So that's the way that's going. And then, we're going to hopefully we'll have overprint. And then at that point, we'll sell them on the website, but it'll be at a higher cost, because that's what we want that crowdfund to be, is you help us out. We're helping you out. Now we've got it on the website, but people are not getting it at the same cost that you got it at, because you guys helped us get it to that point. Now this is available for anybody else to buy after that.
And you're doing the right thing by appearing on other shows talking about it, for starters, and like leading up into it. If you don't mind, I would suggest just from what I've learned recently, really like treat it almost like you're releasing, like you're a famous band releasing a new song. Just it's the biggest deal in the world, because it is, it's like your next project. And once the book is made, you can sell that until you die. And then you know what? You give the rights to your children. They can sell it till they die. It's actually crazy how books work. It's just treat it almost like you got the biggest, hottest song coming out. Build it up like, are you ready for the release date of the new track? And then the release date comes, which is the start of your campaign, and you can really just go hard. And I would say to those listening too, and that's why I'm kind of going over this too. I know you're as a host, especially with Belmont, Belmont's so knowledgeable too in this. I know you understand, and you probably have the right idea, which is why you're here. But for those listening, during that hype up period, also just like basically book the whole time period. Like if it's on a timer, like mine's open ended, so I can casually just hop on as needed and try to promote as much as I can. Right. Yeah. In a time crunch though, people can, new crowdfunders can just book the whole month. Like everything you plan on doing, whatever, because then that release date comes, you announce it, it's a big deal, everybody knows what you're talking about, it's familiar, so they jump right into it and check it out. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden you're appearing on a show that night, and then like consistently until the end of it. Just any updates, any details, because you never know when somebody asks a different question that you didn't anticipate, and it actually helps you a lot.
Right. Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Right on.
So, but good on you, man. You're checking all the right boxes here and doing a lot of good stuff.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, the wife and I have been watching people do crowdfunding for their comic books for 6-7 years now, something like that. 5 years. I don't know. It's been a while. We've been watching it happen. So we've been taking notes, mental notes, so to speak. And I've had help. I mean, I've got a good group of people helping me out with this too. So
that's a big thing.
Yeah.
I mean, little shows like this are a great source of information with people who really want to educate people and spread the word and stuff.
Exactly.
For those listening, guess what? In case you didn't know, you can take a Word document and put it on Amazon for free. They'll give you a book cover. You're an author now. So, and it's the same kind of with music now. If you just have a basic understanding, like, okay, right here, Irish Poppy. This is one of my voiceover actors. He helped me with my audiobook.
Nice.
And for the audio of my free content, he's going to reappear as a lot of different characters, namely the Big Bad King. So he's going to have that deep kingly voice. But yeah, he wants a copy of your book. And Poppy, in case you missed the beginning, it's an awesome cookbook.
Yes,
it's going to be great.
Be awesome. And our son is doing the cover art for it, which is going to be awesome. He's a really good artist. It's with the book is being dedicated to my parents, Grandma and Paul Goodstuff, and they grew up in the 50s, like true 50s. Like my mom wore the poodle skirts, and my dad was the greaser with the white t-shirt with the cigarettes rolled up and the sleeve and the jet black hair greased back. I mean, it was the real
Hell
deal.
yeah. So
So
you like Fallout then?
I've seen that because my kids both play games.
Okay. Never mind then, because they didn't touch on it too much in the show, but it's supposed to be kind of that greaser. There's
Yeah.
supposed to be some of that greaser element in there somewhere because it's like a hybrid. But anyway, continue. Dedicated to them. They got the slick back hair and all.
Yeah. So the Grandma Goodstuff section, which are the recipes that are inspired by my mom, that section is set to like a 50s diner theme. And with that being said, the front of the book is going to be a like one of those 50 diners, the silver long 50s diners with a lot of windows. You know what I'm talking about? You're familiar?
I know what you're talking about. I used to have a favorite one in St. Cloud.
Okay.
There's one
All
right
right,
next to the
cool.
movie theater. It's pretty cool. Yeah.
So it's going to be one of those diners, right? And the Eat Good Stuff logo, which is on either side of me here, that is made the way it is to appear as if it's a neon sign. So right in the center of the book is going to be the Eat Good Stuff logo, which will look like the neon sign on top of that 50s diner. And the backdrop to it is Route 66 during a sunset. So it's going to have a lot of cool colors in the top and the road going up. And there's going to be a 50s hot rod truck that's going by. And so it's going to be pretty cool. I'm really excited for it.
That's such a good idea with the 50s aesthetic.
Mm-hmm. I thought so. I thought we were thinking about doing the whole book like that, but then we decided to stick with just the Grandma Goodstuff section, having the 50s diner kind of theme to it.
Yeah, that old diner. Whenever I went there, I always just thought it was so cool. It's just like a time machine, and it's not. These places, they don't get it 100% accurate, but it's still like the effort. It's like this is still cool.
Yeah. I always loved going to the ones like when I grew up. I was born in 73, so I kind of grew up in the 70s, but I don't really remember the 70s. Like the 80s is what I remember, and I remember going into those old style diners like that with my family, and sitting at the table that's got the little tiny jukebox right there, and you can listen, pick your own songs. It's not the whole everybody else. It's just that one right there. I always thought that was cool as hell. I always thought that was neat.
Yeah, that's the way, man. It's the atmosphere,
Yeah,
it adds to the meal.
and if you don't mind, I do have something that I would like to share, if that's okay.
Yeah.
This here is a 19-inch long wood handle grill spatula. Eat Good Stuff. It's got the beer bottle opener on the end there. When we launch on October 2nd, the first 3 backers of the physical book will receive one of these for free. And these will.
Heck yeah. Hey, real quick.
Yeah.
My son is asking me to help him quick, so just keep talking about this. I'll be right back.
Yeah, sure. So the first 3 backers will get the free Eat Good Stuff 19-inch long grill spatula, very sturdy, good quality. And what was I going to say? I had something to say. I swear I did. Oh, anybody who signs up now for the cookbook and then backs the physical copy of the book will get a Eat Good Stuff magnet, which is made by Justin Belmont. Which, oops, there they are, right there. And Justin Belmont co-host the Man Cave. So these are good quality magnets too. And he makes these. So if you sign up for the book and then back the physical copy, you'll be getting one of those. These cutting boards will be available on the campaign for purchase. These are made, they're 12 by 8 cutting boards with the little groove, a little juice groove going around. And the laser imprint here is done by Flying Feline. So that's going to be cool.
Oh, and yeah, that's awesome.
If anybody is interested, we are doing a recipe contest. So here are the rules for it. It must be a main dish or a dessert. Can include sides, but you won't be judged on them. Must be original. Can be from family, friends, etc., but not straight from a cookbook online, etc. So I don't want you just
Oh,
going
that's
into
sick.
Betty Crocker cookbook and pulling out a recipe and sending it in.
Yeah.
Must include ingredients, instructions, prep time, cook time, and yield. Must be submitted with a high quality pic. Can be in PDF or body of email, and I'll put it together. I'll take it all from whatever you give me. It can be quick and easy or difficult and involved. Can use any meat or veg. Must be submitted by 9:30 to that email right there, with your name in the email subject, how you want it printed in the book if you win. Not on the recipe itself, because we are wanting to look at these recipes not knowing who submitted them. We've got them going to somebody else, and they're sending the recipes to us to judge them. And the prize is you will get the recipe and picture printed full page with credit given to you. We will cook that recipe and go live with the results, and you will
That's
receive
cool.
a physical copy of the book. I think what we're going to do is we're going to cook the top 3. We're going to pick the 3 that we most want, and we're going to cook them, and we're going to judge off of that from that point. So
That's really awesome.
Throughout that process, we'll be taking pictures, video, so on and so forth.
I should let Royce and Albany from A Drink with Crazy know about this, because they do a bunch of their own like garden recipes and stuff.
Oh, awesome.
So they could probably submit something.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And then I think, my wife talks about several things. Like she has a special chili recipe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a special chili recipe. What the
Heck yeah.
battle it out. And
Well,
my chili is.
I told you my chili mac recipe. That's not even special, but it's just clever.
Special. Yeah.
And you don't even need the ramen. It's just just 1 box, 1 can. And there you go. Yeah. But yeah, I think we're gonna close it out around the hour mark here. So
Right on.
if there's any other things that you want to talk about.
I told you not to.
Okay.
No.
Well, wife is saying not to, so we can go as long as you want. Actually,
it don't matter to me. Whatever.
Thanks for listening.
We are. I would like to mention that I just secured Dean James. Will be doing the back cover for us. Are you familiar with Dean James? Did the Embrace? But he's going to be doing the back cover for us, and that's going to be just as cool as the front cover. So that's going to be fun. And then Luke Aglietta is going to be doing a bookmark for us, which will be part of a stretch goal. That'll be the first stretch goal. And then the second stretch goal is going to be the paper cover will be switched into a hardcover. So it'll go from a soft cover or whatever to a hardcover book.
Yeah, I think a lot of people will be looking for that hardcover. Having a nice hardcover recipe book is just really nice.
Yep. Now, even so, I have chosen a really nice quality book. It's going to be 130-pound stock for the cover. It'll be wire O bound, not the spiral, but the wire O, and then they'll all be coated for easy wipe off. And the inside will be 100-pound paper. Inside will be matte. The covers will be gloss. So it'll still be quality, even if it doesn't hit that stretch goal. But I'm putting the stretch goal in a position that I'm really hoping we'll be able to hit it. I'm not making it completely outrageous, because, like I said, our goal is going to be 500 total, and then I believe at 600, I think it is. I believe at 600, I was going to do the bookmark stretch goal, and then at 750 I was going to do the hardcover. So I've tried to make it somewhat reasonable. I mean, I'm hoping we sell that much. Don't know for sure, but hope
You
so.
never know.
Yeah, I hope so.
If it gets in the right in the right channels,
Yeah,
get the right raft in the right river, so to speak.
yeah. And we will be offering That cutting board pretty much is going to be unlimited. I'll be able to get as many of those as I want, but then we're going to have a couple other merch tiers that will be limited. There will be Eat Good Stuff baseball caps that's embroidered, really good quality stuff. It's really awesome. There'll be 5 of those. And
that's cool. Yeah.
then there's going to be a Eat Good Stuff t-shirt and hat tier. So together, there'll be 5 of those. And then there's going to be an Eat Good Stuff apron, which is also embroidered, not just printed. It'll be actually embroidered on there, and hat combo as well. So
that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, those 3 tiers will be limited to 5 each. The cutting boards pretty much be able to get as many as you want. So that one won't be limited.
Heck yeah. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people have their like, this is my grilling hat, or like, this is, you know, the Kiss the Chef shirt or whatever. Toss on the Good Stuff shirt.
The barbecue. And we're trying to do we're doing like funny tier names. At least I think they're funny. I came up with them. So I've always said from the very beginning of watching people do campaigns, whenever they do their second book, they always have the catch-up tier where you can get the previous book. And I've always asked where the mustard tier was, because it always sounded like catch up. So this just fits perfect. So I'm doing a mustard tier.
Do it.
The physical book. I'm doing a relish tier, which are 2 books, which will be discounted for the 2. Yes, JVP, I am stalking you. Or wait, I think you followed me here. But
JVP.
And like the cutting board tier is going to be called Chopped.
Yes.
And then the hat tier will be called Topped. The shirt and hat tier will be called Covered. And then the hat and apron will be the Cook.
Heck yeah.
And anytime, a lot of places when you're a cook, you've got an apron and a baseball cap. So
yep. That is, maybe the next step is like that white shirt. You wear that white shirt.
Yeah, the chef shirt. Yeah, the chef coat.
Apron over.
And the chef hat. Yep.
Yeah. Yep. I think I went Jarl because it's Viking themed, my comic. And then I went King to the Jarl edition, the King edition. And, I worded it like, you get all the treasure of a king. You know what I mean?
Right.
And they obviously have progressively more stuff, and the biggest one is the dragon tier, because you get it all. Like a dragon, just hoard it all. Got to do it, man. I mean, you could always just say tier 1, tier 2, tier 3.
Yeah.
But that's a lot of fun.
Yeah. And I would like to point out too, with those cutting boards, Feline doing that laser stuff on it. If you need laser stuff for campaigns or whatever, she's got good prices. So she does good,
like engravings.
Yeah, she's got that laser thing. She can do, I believe, don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure metal, wood. She's gonna be able to do glass, but hasn't done it yet. So I don't think she wants to like advertise it or whatever. But she can do all kinds of cool stuff. So
the first thing that comes to mind, because I mean that's a fantastic resource.
Now.
The first thing that comes to mind, my story is based off of the Kensington runestone, and there's an actual part in the comic where the main party leaves behind a runestone, and I think it was somebody from it was the host of Drawn and Quartered Ultimate Edition. He is like a professor of some kind, I want to say, living in Japan, and said he's well versed in like cuneiform and stuff. So I was thinking, maybe I could like get together with him, have him like slightly change some cuneiform or like hybridize it with some Viking runes for the passage in my book, and then like I don't know, send her that and just tell her to put it on a little stone, a little scale size. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
That'd be cool.
That's the first thing that comes to mind.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah. And I don't know, if since it's open-ended, I got time, but maybe I could offer that as like whoever there's one of them, whoever backs the most.
Right. Yeah. There you go.
That's fair, right? It's a
Yeah.
unique tier. That's its own
Yeah,
tier.
for sure.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So, yeah, you
Yeah.
got me thinking now, man. You got me
And
thinking.
Ray Haylock did my website, and he's hosting it as well. Does fantastic work.
Mhm.
The website turned out way better than I could have ever imagined.
Goals. That's for after. That's for after my campaign funds, and I'm able to convert that into like some sort of storefront, which I can take all that established stuff and transfer it over to like an all-in-one website. And probably, I'm getting Critical Blast. I don't know who you're thinking for printers, but I'm getting Critical Blast, and maybe I could even talk him into printing my normal books, and then I can just pull them off Amazon and have them all on my website.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of cool. Because like once the infrastructure is there, that's the thing. It's one. That's why I was talking earlier about like the difference between like startup or like I don't even know, like a short campaign, right? I don't even know what to call it, a timed campaign. There's also this powerful side effect that happens when these things fund, that it really is a startup no matter what. Even when that random like popular artist or whatever that just has an idea, well, that all of that can turn into merch for their new comic, all kinds of stuff. And I mean, for small indies, just getting established with this, if they can get over the finish line, this blossoms into like a flower of just infrastructure, right? You're a store now after that, even with just one book, because with that one book, a printer, and that printer probably knows another type of printer to get whatever he or she can't print for you, like a t-shirt maybe. So all these connects just kind of come together. And
Right. Yeah,
it's
for sure.
powerful. It's
Oh, yeah. Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah. May not be as automatic or, whatever, as like ingrained as Amazon, because Amazon has its own promotion and stuff too. But how cool is it to just be like goodstuff.com? Boom.
Yeah.
There you go.
Right. Yeah.
I see a few authors that do that too. Like all their books right there, one website.
Yeah.
The only downside I can think of is, like, I know Facebook, for example, pretends to not recognize Twitter links anymore. So like if I put my other podcast's movie vote for the week or whatever on Facebook, I literally have to include like a detailed message of like what this link contains, basically, because it literally only says x.com and then it's blank. They purposely try not to recognize it. So I have a feeling that that's kind of the default for any. I mean, unless that's active suppression, I have a feeling that that's kind of like the default for any like unrecognized quote unquote website. That's the only downside I can think of. And I think I don't even know if Substack pops up. I know YouTube does, obviously, but I don't even know if Substack does, which kind of a downside. But like I said, it can be mitigated with like a photo and a detailed description within the post or whatever of what this link contains, because it's still only one click away. It's just not a clickable image at that point. If that makes sense. Anyway, boring marketing.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, I'd love to put out a cookbook eventually. It sounds like fun.
Oh yeah, I'm enjoying it. Doing it.
Keep track of like the process, and like, because not many cookbooks are out here, man. In the indie scene. So
no. Yeah, and that was kind of a worry when Mrs. and I decided to start, when we started talking about doing it. It was like, we're in a comic book scene. Are people going to want to buy a cookbook? Is it possible?
These kind of things are always really interesting. I was following D&D startups for a little bit there when like D&D was like in the process of coming back. Like,
yeah,
the generation was like discovering they've been lied to about tabletop, basically.
Mhm.
Oh, that's for nerds. No, it's actually awesome.
Right.
I think during that whole thing, in the midst of all those startups, you see this a lot. It's like, how heavily do you lean into something, and where's the threshold of like crossing into a new audience, right? Because
Right.
there's like this the angle of this is the Good Stuff family menu, and then there's also the angle of like this is this can be a comic book cookbook kind of thing because of that whole thing. So it's like trying to find that that balance, because I
Yeah.
did notice that when some like the D&D startups ventured too much into a thing, like for example, it could easily just become it could easily just become like essentially a monster manual supplement or a book of maps. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Depending on your audience ends up demanding for. But
Right.
Where's the
it's
white
interesting
tape?
stuff.
But we've, with this, one of the things we kind of wanted to do was kind of incorporate a comic book type of feel to a certain point. It's not going to have panels and stuff like that, right? But it's got a comic book type cover. It's going to have a comic book type back cover as well. And plus, there's going to be, a few stories here and there to go along with the recipes, like I was saying. And then, the campaign, we're basically setting it up just like what we've seen people do with the comic books, with the bookmark stretch goal and so on and so forth. So what we're trying to not necessarily make it a cookbook comic book, but kind of incorporate some of those aspects of the comic book into the cookbook. So instead of a picture of food with some words typed on the cover, it's artwork. And
Yes, sir. Yeah.
And the same thing on the back, the back cover that Dean's going to be doing. Once we get it and put it digital, it's underneath it. We're doing the dedication to, mom and dad on that part of it there. So
that's awesome. If you need to just add a little extra seasoning on top for the comic book stuff, one thing that comes to mind is it could even just be random speech bubbles. You just have them like coming out of. You could have them coming out of nowhere, even. But like, just the side notes. Like you could have just a side note, like, "Oh, this one, a cool thing about this one." Something that'll fit in a speech bubble.
That is neat. That's a good idea. I might look into that here and there. Just random, a few times, not even.
Little notes.
Just a couple here and there.
Yeah.
I might take that into consideration. That's as long as I remember.
Yeah, it shouldn't be too difficult, but
right.
I understand that you do have to go in and put like the all that there and then type out the thing. So I get it, but I think that'd be kind of cool if it is like a comic book. If it is trying to be like a comic book.
I don't want to say it's like trying to be like a comic book per se. I wanted to kind of incorporate a few comic book type things into it. And like I said, with the cover, the back cover, with the way the campaign is set up, with the way the trailer is, stuff like that. I just tried to kind of mimic some of those things in a way to kind of entice some of the people in the comic book community here to maybe look at it, to maybe just give it a chance and just look at it.
And your background, is, I mean, you love. I think you love comics, right? And you're a podcaster.
I started reading comics about 5-6 years ago, and I don't read mainstream. I've never read mainstream comics. The only ones I did was, for a while, I had some 1980s Marvel Star Wars comic books.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
Those were the only mainstream comic books that I owned, other than I had an Iron Man. But I have a crap ton of independent stuff that we've backed since we've got into this community. That's what's got me into comic books. I'm not a comic guru. I don't know the old comic book artists and writers. I know some of them now, but I couldn't tell you. I don't know. I can tell you a lot more
Brother,
about independent comics than I can about mainstream media. So,
you know, there's this. I don't know how like religious of a guy you are, but there's a line that sticks with me. Somebody said it one time. I can't remember, but like it's from like the Bible somewhere. It's like the purest love is from like the eyes of a child or something,
yeah,
because they have no concept of the world. Their love is like so pure.
yeah,
And that's kind of like what I feel like a lot of these, because I'm right there with you. I didn't really grow, like I gravitated towards more visual medium, but that kind of translated more into like movies and video games. Now I had
right,
my big comic, which was Frank Miller's 300. I loved that thing back in high school. That was awesome.
yeah,
And the dude is a pro, and
yeah,
it has all the trimmings there for, you could learn a lot from that.
yeah,
And essentially from there, in adulthood, became like a fan of Mike S. Miller because he was working on like the Game of Thrones stuff, and now
right,
he did like the Hedge Knight, and now that's going to be a TV show.
yeah,
So I was able to keep up with him, and I got algorithmed into the Iron Age, man. I don't know why, but I just took like my YouTube subscriptions, put them on Twitter when I rejoined, and it was like, oh, you go here. And I was like, oh, okay.
you go here.
So
This is where you belong.
So yeah,
I
I
belong
appreciate
everywhere,
that.
so that's good.
I appreciate that on the same level, like right next to you. I very much feel like an infant.
Adrian.
Yeah, Adrian. Yeah. And I very much feel like an infant in the eyes of like comic. Like I'm no guru myself, right? I'm an author. I could tell you about storytelling and stuff.
Oh, JBP.
But I'm not in a place to be like, that art is crap.
Right.
Like, like,
I was just watching a short where I don't know if you guys ever watched Equals 3. So it's this guy Ray William Johnson, and it was like kind of like a Tosh.0, only he's not a shitbag. Where they'll show like a viral video, like, he was like one of the first people to do that, and then they comment on it and everything, or like make jokes, whatever. And so he does shorts that I've been seeing on YouTube, and one of them was about art, where they're like, it's art, you don't understand, but it's basically like it looks like the same material as the hospital IV bags, but there was like people in it, and it was like they vacuum sealed it and then put like tubes so they could breathe, and it's just like people suspended there like on this massive like wall of it
in an IV.
Well, like,
wow.
yeah, just like vacuum sealed in plastic with like a hose going to them so they could still breathe. And it's like, how is that art though? I mean,
modern.
It is, I guess. You know what I mean? Like
the banana.
I think there should almost
what
be
banana.
Oh, the
banana that was duct taped to the wall.
Yeah.
Oh,
and then the one dude went up and took it down and ate it.
Why? Yeah. That's the fate of that.
Yeah, that's not fucking art. And my mom is an actual artist, like, I mean, insanely good.
Yeah.
Her favorite is actually working with Crayola crayons and like realistic. So she had a wolf when she lived in Colorado named Wolfie, and she has Wolfie she did. So she, like, you can take a picture of something and my mom will draw it and it looks the same. But she does it with Crayola crayons, so that's cool. It's insane. Yeah, she does some with like felt tip pens and different mediums. But she does. I'm sure she can paint, but she doesn't that I know of.
Yeah.
Or hasn't. But her Zan, stop. Boo. Hold on one second. Zan, knock it off. Okay.
Hold that thought.
Oh, she just one sec.
Yeah. We'll get back to that.
Right on.
Her mom is a really talented artist, though. For sure.
That's awesome. That's cool. Yeah, I wish I could draw. I mean, I can draw.
Yeah,
I just
me
don't
too.
look good when I do it. So there's that.
I dabbled with coloring, and coloring you can understand because like no, that doesn't quite look right. Change the shade a little bit more, edit or switch the blending style. So it's like doing different things, and you just experiment. Try this brush tip, try that, dab that color, whatever, opacity. You can mess with it until it looks okay, right? But it's just something about when I gotta sit down and I'm drawing that first face, because I want to do my own. I want to do, either me and Katie together, but like whatever ends up happening, I want like there to be a comic also with my free material. I'm putting that out for free. I got the audiobook. I want to have each episode formatted for like ebooks too. I put the first one up, the whole 9 yards. You know what I mean? And part of the 9 yards is a comic, but I don't want to like dump money on it for free content. And the whole thing is a little bit more organic anyway. So I try to, I'm trying to like make it so I'm doing the comic too. But anyway, when it comes down to like drawing the faces or like just drawing the lines, it's just like I get so angry at myself,
Yeah.
like can't do it.
So what I was gonna say is that my mom has shown me a lot of her artwork, and she went through a point where she was, I'm pretty sure I'm almost positive she was doing acid at the time, and all of her art, it's like some of my favorite of hers, but it's like all blue. She did all blue and really like depressive shit, and almost like a hint of abstract, but it's just wild. But it reminds me of like where they show you like the webs the spiders do on different drugs, and
yeah,
and
it's
then
crazy.
Yeah, and they show like different, like, if you're on weed, and people have done stuff like that before where they compare their art on different drugs. It's very interesting how that affects the creativity in your brain, though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think weed is the fucking coolest, though, by far.
Yeah.
I mean, weed is the best, so
yeah.
We don't have to tell you that.
Yeah, you don't want me working on your trailer unless I've smoked.
Yeah. There's something about it. It like
You want that.
It like, I don't know, like kickstarts your mind. I don't know how to explain it, but like without, like a lot of the other drugs kind of like they like grab a hold of you and they put you over here, right? But like weed is kind of like releasing you, if that makes sense. Yeah.
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 Yeah. Yeah. I feel like weed makes me a better person for sure when I it's like a night and day difference. The cure all for sure.
Yeah.
That it is.
Gateway drug to the fridge.
The first time I smoked, I was almost I take that back. The first few times I smoked, I didn't get high.
I've heard that happens,
Yeah. So I was like, I don't know, it just doesn't, do anything.
Right.
Wake it up.
But I was almost 23, and I think the first time I tried it, I was probably 20, maybe 19.
Mm-hmm.
And just like a few puffs of a joint, nothing ever happened. And so anyway, I was getting clogged tear ducts, which is the most painful thing in the world. And I went in and they gave me like a bunch of Dilaudid, so much I couldn't even walk, and I was throwing up. I was so sick. And they're like, oh, it'll take a week for us to get you in to the eye specialist. And I was like, I can't stand this hell for a week. There's no way I'll make it. So someone suggested smoking weed for the pain, and I'm like, well, all right. So I went down to my uncle's and I smoked a bowl, and I got high as shit, and I took my brand new fillet knife and I just like cut into it, and the infection came out. I'm not even joking. It was instant relief.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And I would not have done that unless I got really high. So I got high, and I'm like, with this fillet knife in the corner of my eye.
That sounds safe. That sounds safe.
Well, usually like warm compresses help, and you like rub it and stuff. But he keeps putting his Legos in the microwave.
He's trying to microwave Legos.
You don't want to do that.
I don't think that's a good idea.
No Legos in the microwave. Oh, but yeah, totally going the medieval route though. Like sometimes it works, that's how they relieve a lot of swelling sometimes.
Well, I noticed because it was so swollen, it was like starting to look like a whitehead, like almost like a zit. And I'm like, yeah, the infection's trying to come out and they don't want to do anything at the doctor. So I'm like, well, I guess I'll have to do it myself.
And charge you,
Again.
charge you money.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
buddy.
They're like,
Yeah.
oh, that'll just pop. We won't tell her that, though.
Well, and the fillet knife, it's like it came to a really, you know, like fine point at the end.
Yeah. They'll be so quick to be like, oh, no, never like pop that. You just got to like
yeah, it's so
come
dangerous.
come and pay us because bring your wallet when you come see us because
Yeah.
if you pop it, it's going to get infected. And people have never done that in the history of mankind. It's filthy.
Right, ever.
Only filthy savages do that, and they die every time. So come pay us, and we'll do it the proper way, which is it's like the same way. They just like lance it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You know what I mean?
And then we're going to give you medication to treat it, but not to cure it.
Yeah.
Just
treat it.
to treat it.
Yeah.
I fell when I was 10 or 11. I was at school and I was really smart walking up a wet metal slide, and I fell. And there was like 4 recess ladies talking to each other watching me do it, and other kids were too, but I fell and my 2 front teeth went into, I thought I knocked them out, but they went like up into my nasal cavity. So they pulled them down and like stitched them up, but it slowly killed the tooth next to it. And they did like the root canals, but since I wasn't like fully, I don't know how like accurate this is, but the dentist said since I wasn't fully grown when they did the root canal and it like grew more, I don't know, they had to redo it, but it was causing infections. So I kept getting sinus infections, and they had to like cut open my gums like all the way across and do the surgery. But until I got in, it was all swollen. So I went in and they just poked a hole in it so it's the same thing. Like I paid like $800. Well, I didn't pay it, but I did end up paying my medical bills actually. But anyway, it cost like $800 for them to poke a hole in my gums.
Yeah, it's like
at the ER. And that brings me to a fun story time for everyone about the time I paid my medical bills. So I was working at a job. I had health insurance at the time, but before this job, I didn't have insurance. So I had $13,000 exactly in medical debt. And I won on a $3 scratch off, a Minnesota crossword scratch off, $3. I won $20,000.
Nice.
And the check they gave me after taxes was $13,500. So I took $500 and I got a sub and like, sound system put in my car. And then the rest, instead of paying off my car like a smart person, I thought I would be a responsible adult and pay off my medical bills. My fucking credit went up 1 point, and I've never regretted anything more in my life.
Yeah.
She found out too that you can that stuff eventually falls off or whatever too. So
yeah.
Yeah.
I really did things not.
Hey, we learned that there's a reason they don't teach you about that stuff.
Yeah, but I don't want to always have to learn the hard way.
I know. Stupid life.
But now you know, and no one's half the battle.
True. But now it's like, can I just win another 20 grand though?
Round 2?
Please.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Please.
Double or nothing.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
That's the good stuff.
It wasn't even the top prize on it because there was one where it had a multiplier.
Yeah.
And the top prize was $30,000, and then they had like a $10,000. I won $10,000 times 2, so it was like a times 2 multiplier on it. But it would have been nice to win the top prize, but I can't say I've won the top prize on one. But yeah, that damn medical bill, bullshit. How many meals do you think I guess maybe meals, how many items are going to be in the cookbook? Do you know?
Yeah, I didn't ask.
Right now we have 43 recipes planned.
Beautiful.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Beautiful.
This is
And
going to
that
be amazing.
includes main dishes, side dishes, sauces, marinades, rubs,
Amazing.
stock, soup, desserts.
Yeah.
This is
All kinds of
awesome.
And he said he likes smoking and grilling and stuff. So I'm sure that, it sounds like there'll probably be like sections, all kinds of stuff.
Oh, yeah. They'll organize it. They know what they're doing.
Yeah. It's
Oh,
going to be cool.
Because look at Rolly's tuckered out.
And you got Adrian's attention too, the voice actor. So
nice.
I mean, yeah,
that's awesome.
I don't know who wouldn't be all about that.
It's
Everyone
food.
eats.
It's it's food. Yeah. And if you combine that with art a little bit, like you're talking, like forget about it. That's awesome.
And stoners know food.
Oh yes, we do.
Although I will admit that I have absolutely, without a doubt, eaten things that I would not have eaten had I not been high.
Well, sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but
Stale
sometimes you
crackers.
end up coming up with those awesome combinations when you are, though.
That's true.
And you're this was actually really good.
I found out being young, broke, and stoned.
Yeah, he's got a lot of weird stuff.
You can so like you can do a lot with ramen, right? I mentioned ramen already. You could also do a lot with oatmeal. Because oatmeal kind of has the same idea as like just plain noodles, essentially.
Yeah.
So like I like to view oatmeal as like breakfast noodles in the sense of like you can do anything with it. just basically add anything to it. Yeah. And one of the best things, all we had was oats and peanut butter.
Oh yeah.
That's all you need, as it turns out.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, get the oats while they're still hot, mix a bunch of peanut butter in there, and it's actually pretty good. And you know what? Dirt cheap, lots of nutrients, like filling. If that's still a little bland because it's probably just pure peanut butter flavor, you could, think about peanut butter and jelly and just add something sweet in there. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably will make some people watching you cringe, but you're gonna be full and have nutrients, and nobody else. Right. Yeah, nobody else had bread to put that peanut butter on or whatever. So
Andy puts shit together that I would not eat.
Peanut butter ramen.
But he makes some. That's fucking shut up.
Specifically
that's so
chicken.
Nasty.
Specifically chicken flavor, but yeah.
Anyway, he does make some really good ramen, and he'll put like the minced garlic. I buy the stuff in the jar, so minced garlic and some seasonings and Ritz crackers crumbled up until it's almost like a chowder.
Yeah.
Or like a thick, Oh, it's really good, actually.
Yeah, I made her start requesting ramen, actually.
Do they have Lian Chin where you are?
I have no idea.
It might be in Minnesota. It's like a chain of like Asian American food.
I don't think so. I've not heard of it. That doesn't mean it's not around here, but
right.
Well, they have Asian noodles, but now it's like a lo mein. But it used to be the really thin rice noodles, and there was like shredded carrots in it and some kind of sauce, and I don't know what it was, but it tasted so good. It was insane, and I would get it, all the fucking time.
Yeah.
And then they totally changed the recipe, and it's like I really want to find someone that knows what I'm talking about to see if they know like what was in it. I wonder if I could find it online though.
That actually has me thinking a little bit. You might, if you get your name out there in this regard, you might actually be able to sell some or one of your recipes maybe to like a chain or something.
That would be cool.
Yeah, I know that's a thing too because of the famous Toby's stuff I was telling you about. That's an actual thing. Because I think famous Dave was like a cook at Toby's or something, or wanted Toby's menu or something. I don't remember, but there was some weird stuff like that. But like, yeah, that's a thing. Like, this is all IP. Each individual recipe is your own IP.
This is pretty much what it looked like. I don't know if anyone can see it. Let's see if I can.
It's a little rough.
Oh, shoot.
It's got a real bad glare.
I wonder if I do it from further away.
Looks good though.
Never mind.
Blind me.
Neuralizer for Men in Black.
Dang it. I'm like, maybe this will help.
I don't remember anything now.
Yeah.
It looks like someone made the original recipe though. It's 5-star rating. I don't know how many people rated it though. You can't see. And it says, I loved the original, so...
Rice noodles are good.
Oh, shit. It says a big thank you to the recipe Lian Chin's corporate shared with me.
Oh.
it was a great starting point. So I wonder if they didn't tell them quite all of it. But guess what? I need to make this tonight.
For real.
There you
What'd
go.
you have? What'd you have for dinner, Mr. Goodstuff?
What did I have? I think we just had burgers tonight. Yeah, we just had burgers.
I had oatmeal. Burgers sound good. And do you do like bacon and onions, or like what kind of stuff do you put on your burgers?
I like everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like everything. You know, something that'll be in the cookbook.
Burgers are
is,
another one that's you can get pretty exotic with burgers.
Yeah, we're doing
What do you
beer can burgers in the cookbook.
Ooh.
You ever heard of beer can burgers?
No, I've heard of beer can chicken.
Well, it's completely different. 100% different. The only thing the beer can is for shoving it down into the meat to create the cup.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
so there's not beer in it.
No, there's no beer in it. Nope. But you get like a big meatball, like a half pound of meatball, and you shove a beer can down into it, and then you kind of form it around it to create a cup and pull the beer out. And then you wrap bacon, 2 slices of bacon around that, and then you put inside this meat cup whatever the fuck you want.
Ooh.
Anything you want. Top it with cheese, whatever. Oh man.
Damn. That sounds amazing.
Yeah. One of the ones we did when we went to a cabin recently, and this was something that's kind of cool for the family, because you can each person put their own stuff inside their own beer can burger. So we were at the cabin. We had the kids with us. My son had his girlfriend there. Daughter had her boyfriend there. So everybody got to make their own. And we made one I made for myself was a breakfast beer can burger.
Yes.
So inside of it, I had ground sausage that I'd browned up and potatoes. I made like breakfast potatoes. I did tomato, onion, mushrooms, cheese, and then I topped it with an over easy fried egg and then hot sauce.
Oh, that God, dude! That sounds so good. Yeah. And it just gave me the idea of the same thing, but like ice cream cone shaped, and you make it look like you make the mashed potatoes look like ice cream.
I want to do it only instead of hot sauce, hollandaise sauce.
Oh, yeah, that would be good too. That would be good.
Yeah.
But then you're getting super intricate.
Yeah, that's true.
Hollandaise is kind of a.
And I don't know that you can you buy hollandaise sauce?
I think you can.
In like a little packet, yeah.
It seems like, I guess you wouldn't be able to buy it because it seems like it would break. You wouldn't be able to like put it in a jar because that stuff's super delicate.
Yeah, it requires a whole.
Yeah,
it's kind of like egg frying a little bit. It's like
to a point. You got to do it on the double broiler, and you have to pour that clarified butter in exactly right while you're. I haven't made that in years, but I
not too long. Yeah.
Because then you've made scrambled eggs.
I have this recipe up, and it says accent seasoning. Is that a specific seasoning?
I would think that's just whatever you want to put in it.
Yeah, I like to taste.
Would be my guess. No, I don't know that to be a fact. That could be some sort of seasoning out there that I don't know exists.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Oh man, that beer can burger.
What do they call that one seasoning? Why can't I think of it? I use it too for my chicken wild rice soup.
Lowry?
What is it called? No, it's not Lowry's, but it's like for like chicken meals. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Chicken seasoning? I don't know.
It's got a name, and seasonal.
Oh, seasonal.
It's called seasonal. No, maybe that's not it. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Not familiar.
An exotic burger recipe I can offer.
These dogs' butts stink.
I used to work at this small.
I was hungry.
I used to work at this small bar that they got like a Minnesota award for like the best burgers or something like that, and basically their only secret is steak dust. So you fry it, you grill a burger any way really, and then you just like season it with steak dust, and it essentially turns it into a steak. And that would be why they won. But I remember the The Haystacker was a burger with like an egg and hash browns. It was basically a breakfast on a burger. There was the lumberjack burger. I want to say no, the cowboy burger. That's right, the cowboy burger. A1 steak sauce, coleslaw, and onion rings.
That sounds good.
It was really good.
Definitely eat that.
It was really good. That was called the cowboy burger. Yeah. Interesting combos there at that place. That was cool.
Well, one of my favorite burgers I ever had was at this place called Goodfellas up the road here, and it took me quite some time to actually order this burger, and I was basically kind of forced to order it. Like, you're gonna like it because it sounded awful. It sounded just awful, and I did not like it. But it's a burger with mayonnaise, jalapenos, and peanut butter.
Oh, yep. I was waiting for it. Yeah.
It just did not sound good. But then I ate it and I was like, oh my Lord, this is my new favorite burger.
Yeah.
The Cambridge Bar and Grill that I used to live by has what's called a Jiffy Burger, and it's the burger. Okay, so the meat patty, and I can't remember what kind of cheese, but it's some kind of like white cheese and peanut butter and bacon, like, and they get their meat and their bacon local from a butcher, so it's like thick, the best bacon you could ever have.
Yeah.
And I didn't think it would be good. I tried it. It's so addicting. I mean, I could eat that every single night. It is phenomenal. You wouldn't think so. Like, cheese and peanut butter, I'm like, what the fuck? You know, like, that's not, that does not sound good. And bacon, but wow.
Well, a lot of people think of like peanut butter and jelly, but not enough people think about just like peanuts.
Right.
Just like, peanuts in a burger. Like, that sounds great.
Our son's like just shaking. He was like shaking his butt and then like swirling it. Just the way he's dancing is so cute.
But it's not like you're putting chocolate cake on your burger or something.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Bounce, bounce, bounce. You guys have kids?
Mm-hmm.
I
have two.
So.
My daughter's 26, 27. She's 27.
Oh, yeah. You just brought them up about them at, putting their burgers together. And I'm like, I thought you did. Yeah. Sorry. I'm a little brain dead.
My son's 19. Yeah, buddy.
So they're more than old enough. You can play like D&D if you want and have all the conversations. And I can't wait for that. I mean, I enjoy now too, but I just can't wait until he's like, you can see the extent of their creativity and personalities and tastes and all of that.
Yep.
So much fun. You have any grandkids yet?
Not yet. Looking forward to it though. I'm waiting.
Oh yeah.
I'm waiting.
I remember when I told Andy's mom that we were pregnant, and that was really, really fun because at the time we were sponsoring a kid in India, Hemant, and he ended up aging out because I started sponsoring him when he was 15. And then, when they're 18, it's like the program's over. And so we gave her one of his updated photos, and it was around Christmas time. So we, did that and said something about your grandkid. And then we hid an ultrasound picture behind that photo. And we're like, oh, and then there's your other grandkid. And
that's cool.
And she was like, you're pregnant. And she was like, it was really sweet.
It was the classic grandma response. Yeah.
Yeah. He's the only grandkid. Well, that was Olin, our son that we actually lost at 16 weeks. That the ultrasound thing that we did. But so Xander's the only living grandchild. So he's super spoiled, of course.
Yeah.
I don't want to say spoiled like it's a bad thing. It's a good thing,
He's well loved.
Yeah.
Yes. There you go.
Yeah. Super loved. Yeah. Yeah. Andy, they sent him home with one of the bubble tubes that has different sizes of the holes. And so Andy was, I mean, it makes a whole bunch of bubbles, almost like a bubble machine. And he freaking goes nuts for that thing.
That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Freaking out.
Yeah. So ridiculous.
Yeah.
So he talks, but not like he knows words and phrases, but a lot of it's still just very babbly.
And he very much understands a lot of things too. Like he's starting to want things a particular way. He has preferences. Like
Andy says he gets offended if you move things. Like he has everything a certain way. Here, come sit on so you're on camera, babe.
Okay. Here we are.
Her dog has a smelly butt.
Yeah, and he stole my spot.
He's not throwing up or sick anymore, so that's good. I'll take the smelly ass over the puking any day.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Orgy.
But yeah, do you have what do you currently? What's the tell the folks the name of your show and everything, and like where to find that and everything. I want to make sure you're all your.
It was such a fun show.
Yeah,
I loved it.
Yeah, the Man Cave. It is a good time. It's like a variety show almost. It's the Man Cave, although there's a female on the panel.
Yeah.
But it's fun. Most of the comedy is based around man stuff, and we do the Babe of the Week poll, and it's just a good time. Really, it's just irreverent. I can't speak today. I had this problem earlier on my show. I kept blah blah blah, blah twisting my words around. But yeah, it's politically incorrect. We make fun of everything and everyone.
That's the way.
Nothing is safe at all. So
yeah, I think your female rule is they're allowed in the man cave as long as they're being escorted by a man.
Yes, they have to be escorted by a male.
Yeah,
I had to pay so much for this escort too. That was good time.
But no, it's a fun time. It's a great time. There's a lot of chat interaction. They help out with the show, sending us stuff to use for the show and all of that.
So. Everyone go sub to what is the exact YouTube channel?
Goodstuff 2340.
Goodstuff 2340.
Goodstuff 2340. I'm actually gonna sub to that on my personal YouTube.
Oh, I got
because on my
yeah.
We always sub to everyone on all of our accounts because I think we have the Pritchard pub, and then I think he has 2 and I have 1. So we can throw out 4 subs just which I love.
I got mine, and then I got the one for the website for the business, Goodstuff Creations.
2340.
I got my personal. I got the family one. So like I switched to a family because of the algorithm, So switch to the family one, and then that way there's not a bunch of random stupid like video game stuff popping in there or whatever other stuff I'm looking up, like historical research, whatever it is. And then so like mine, the family, my band, Pritchard Pub, and then technically I might be able to, I could probably get Iron Seas, my other podcast, to follow something. They still have to give me permission to go on that one. I know the email and everything, but whoever's phone the number got sent to, they weren't paying attention to the chat at the time, so I was locked out.
On what?
Oh, on Iron Seas.
Oh,
the Iron Seas YouTube.
Iron Seas.
Yeah, I have that there, and then I'm Goodstuff 2340 on Twitter. So it's pretty universal. I try to keep the same across everything, so it's easier.
Yeah. As soon as I did that, people actually remembered who I was, because I had kind of like my author name, but it was mixed with like, I don't know, personal screen names on everything.
Right.
So there was like an AC Pritchard here and there, but like not all of it was. As soon as I just like bit the bullet and just like overhauled everything,
just like, streamlined it all. Yeah.
It's
just easier for me too. That way I remember. That way I don't have to go, okay, on Twitter, shit, what am I?
Well, how great is it? How great is it? And I can speak to this for my band, right? Like I can literally just say go check out Empty My Lungs on everything. It's Empty My Lungs. Like, there you go. You could go on Twitter, search it. It's literally, that's the exact username. Same with Facebook / whatever, YouTube, whatever. Like, it's all the same. So that's a fantastic little thing that I think
just
more
easier.
indies should do.
Yeah.
Do you have any animals?
I do. I currently have a Morkie.
An Orkie?
Morkie. Maltese Yorkie mix. It was my parents.
Our dog Orcus, we call Orkie.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But well, when my parents X amount of years back, when they got really sick, they ended up in a nursing home at the same time, and they had 3 dogs. So I got one, my sister got one, and my brother got one. So they all stayed in the family.
Yes.
And
you guys are amazing, because it's really sad when people don't take their families' pets. You know,
how am I going to leave that little tiny Reese? Her name's Reese. She's my little Reese cup, a little Reese pup. But we had a beagle a few months back. She was old. She was 17, and we had to have her put down. So, but we've always had dogs. Always. We had a beagle prior to that, who was her friend, but she got cancer pretty young. She got cancer at like 9 years old. So that was, but yeah, we've always had dogs.
Yeah. As long as I remember, I've always had a dog since I was a real little kid. And
me too.
I mean, with
dogs, cats, and birds, both of us actually, and some other random stuff, but
lizards, fish, whatever.
I can't live without animals.
They're pretty amazing.
They are.
Yeah. There's, I mean, admittedly, a short break between, like, I don't know, 17 until I got Orcus.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but like, that was like, I always say the dog saved my life, because it's like becoming a pet owner, especially on the level of like a dog, and on top of that, a really smart dog that's like larger. It's like, these animals depend on you. You are their entire world. Like, they don't eat unless you feed them and stuff like that. So it's like, I think it kind of like activated some fatherhood genetics or whatever, because
for sure.
Even though I always had a dog nearby growing up, it was always kind of like the dog is more like a sibling rather than like my child. You know what I mean? Because like we're both being taken care of by like mom or whatever.
Right.
But it's like when you're out on your own, and you need to leave your house a certain way for the dog, and you need to, like, you're feeding it, you're letting it out. It doesn't even go to the bathroom without you. You know what I mean?
Right. Hey,
it's crazy.
Just one sec. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, you're good. You're good.
Booba, he's doing that head and shoulders, knees and toes dance.
Oh, he was dancing.
Yeah, and then after that, he bent all the way forward, so his butt's sticking at me, and he's looking at me upside down from between his legs. I tried to take a picture, but every time you catch your child or animal doing something funny or cute, they immediately, as soon as you pull your camera out, whether they see or not, they stop. And like, you can watch them do it for a minute or 10 seconds, and it's damn them. So cute.
So how you doing on time? Good stuff. You gotta go.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna need to get going here shortly. Yeah.
I had a hunch. We're approaching the 2-hour mark here.
Yeah,
so
I'm just starting to. It's late for me. I'm old.
Oh, hey, it's late for us too. Kids gotta go to bed.
You're ancient. Just kidding.
But if you have any parting words of wisdom for everybody, we can.
Well,
heading in that direction.
Hold on. Speaking of words of wisdom, what was that quote that the other day? I don't remember.
Is it the one I said I was going to tweet? I'm not envious of how you.
Oh no!
Yeah.
But people are jealous of what you've got, but not how they're not jealous of how you.
Yeah, how you got it. Yeah.
If that makes sense, like all the work you have to put in.
You have to work,
right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The process.
comic books.
That was not it, but it's a good one.
It is a good one. Comic books are a great field to apply that mindset too, because it's like it's so true. Like a comic, I mean, it's a pretty collaborative thing. Unless
big
you're,
time,
unless you're all in one. Whatever.
Yep, for sure.
But anyway,
booties. Cut your booties.
Any parting words? And
well, if anybody needs any video editing, please visit my website, goodstuffcreations.net. I can help you out. I do good work, quality work at reasonable prices. And sign up for the cookbook that will be launching on October 2nd. So that's going to be fun.
Watch all of our pages. I'm going to promote the shit out of that. And the what did you just say? I was going to respond to something you said.
The website, video editing,
video editing.
Oh yeah, did you do the videos, or do you do the videos for your guests?
On Man Cave?
No, the creator spotlight, that's Fanta. She does those. Is that what you're talking about? The creator spotlight videos?
Okay.
Yeah, Fanta does.
Yeah.
She helps out.
That's awesome.
That. Yeah.
Shout out Fanta.
Yeah.
She does good work. That she does.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Stan, stop doing that.
What about you, babe?
Yeah,
Any parting words?
Yeah, I have plenty of parting words, but I'll spare everyone.
All right. Well, you guys know where to find me. AC Pritchard on everything. Amazon and all. And you can find my comic on fundmycomic.com/ASOS. Message in a bottle. ASOS. Very easy to remember. ASOS.
Yes.
All right.
And I'm Moonzilla Tarot. And it was very nice to see you again. Thank you for coming on. Next time, you'll have to bring your wifey on.
It's late for her. She gets up early in the morning for work. That's the only reason. Yeah,
we're totally fine doing even an off day or time to accommodate that anytime.
That'd be cool. And thank you very much for having me on. I really appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate you too.
We really like to have couples, and especially married couples.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
Oh yeah.
We would definitely be able to accommodate whatever works for you guys.
Just don't want to put people
don't
out.
belong in the microwave.
You know.
Maybe sometime towards the end of October when the campaign's almost done, so that there's enough space in between episodes. That'd be kind of
That'll work. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right, brother. Appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Good night, everyone. Don't forget to sub to the pub and Goodstuff 2340.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cheers, everybody.
Thank you.